Hello, my name is JP, and I'll talk about how to set up paper programs yourself. With the right hardware, you can get started in a few minutes. Let's get going. So first, the hardware. You'll need a projector, a webcam, and a color printer. I'm afraid I don't have good recommendations here. If you have any, please leave them in the comments. If you happen to have a projector and a webcam, just try those first. In my case, I went to the local electronics store and just bought a standard projector and webcam. Make sure to get a projector that is bright enough. I got one with 3600 lumens, which might have been overkill. It has an eco mode with 2200 lumens, which works just fine. Make sure that it can project from a close range. I use projectorcentral.com, which has a handy calculator. You can use any flat surface to project on, such as a wall or a whiteboard. If you're using a wall, you can use tape to hang up the papers. My friend Omar has also used a crazy setup with a mirror, which seemed to work. I've read that you need a first surface mirror to get good results, but I don't have any experience with that myself. I found it most fun to use a floor or a table. When using a floor, make sure it is comfortable to sit on, so you can actually be close to the papers. I don't have good recommendations for mounting a projector aimed downwards. I got lucky that I have this beam that I could mount it on. You'll have to figure it out for your situation. I'm also not too happy with my Logitech camera, which seems to have quite a bit of lag, so I'm looking for a better one. Please leave any tips in the comments. Okay, I have my camera plugged in, and now I open paperprograms.org/camera.html in the browser. Currently only Google Chrome works. It takes a few moments to load OpenCV using WebAssembly, and then it prompts for camera access, which I allow. This is the main control panel of Paper Programs. On the left is my camera feed. On the top right, you can see the URL that uniquely identifies your setup. One has been generated, and we can just leave it there. Below you see the editor URL. This is the URL you tell your guests or community members to use to edit programs. Now let's turn on the projector to calibrate the camera. You can see the projection area on the webcam screen. Now I drag the red dots to the corners of the projection surface. You might need to zoom in and pan around to line things up properly. These calibration settings are stored in the browser's local storage. Next I need to calibrate the colors. On the right under Print Queue, click on Print Calibration page. You'll need a color printer for this. Alright, let's first turn off the projector again, and we'll put the calibration page in the middle of the floor. I need to make sure the colors are well visible, and I can use webcam software to adjust camera parameters. On my Mac I've bought the webcam settings software, which works pretty well. Let's turn off some overlays so we can see what the paper looks like. This looks pretty good. Let's turn on the key point overlays again to calibrate the colors. I click the row of colors on the right and then click on the detected color on the calibration page. If it detects the color properly, you will see the correct letter appear. R for red, O for orange, and so on. Now we're ready to print our first program. Under Print Queue, click on Create Hello World Program. It should now appear in the print queue. If you start Chrome from the command line with the kiosk printing flag, you can use this auto printing functionality, which skips the confirmation dialog. I haven't done that, so I'll click the queue item, print, and then mark it as done, so that it disappears from the queue. Great, we have a Hello World program, which I'll put on the floor. On the paper you see the name of the program, the actual program code, the paper number and printing date, and the dots that we use to recognize the paper. If we look on the screen, we can see how it connects the dots, the unique ID for each corner, and the detected program. If I cover up a corner, it will still recognize the program, until I turn the whole thing over, then it goes away. The program comes back once it sees all 4 corners again. Now let's start projecting. First I go to Chrome Flags and turn on Experimental Canvas features. Unfortunately, being experimental, the projecting crashes sometimes, but hopefully this will become more stable soon. Now I open a new browser window with paperprograms.org/projector.html. You can already see the Hello World program here. Now let's turn on the projector and hook it up to the computer. Then I drag the browser window to the projector and make it full screen. And the Hello World program works. And it updates if I move the paper. If we now go to the editor URL that is displayed in the camera window, we can start editing the program. Anyone who knows that URL can edit programs, but you can always restore programs back to their original state. You can also print new programs from here, which will show up in the print queue, or automatically print if you have that enabled. Let's change the program. Boop, and it updates. Well, that concludes this tutorial. Please file any bugs in the GitHub repository, and feel free to contribute. And if you have the chance, visit Dynamic Land in Oakland, which the system is inspired by. It is really worth it. Thanks!